All right. Good evening once again, everyone joining the session this evening. I believe it's been a productive day indeed and a stress-free one indeed. And it's good to meet each and every one of us. And I really don't know. I would also love to meet some of us. We can just use the comment section to share an introduction about ourselves, the units you belong to, and basically what you are doing. We would like to meet you. We'd like to know more about you. Please kindly use the comment section to drop that. While during the questions and answer session, we are going to get to know each other better. So this evening, I will be the one moderating and facilitating today's session on behalf of the Leadership Council of Sustainable Development Solutions Network Nigeria. My name is Emmanuel Ola-Olowoyo, and permits me to just switch off my video. Maybe during the questions and answers, we can get to, I will also switch it on back. So this evening basically is for us to have it's not just a webinar, it's more of an interactive session which we are going to have this evening. And one of the major purposes why we are doing this is to bridge the gap between the management and also the students, most especially the students of Center for Sustainable Development. Over the years, we found this as a major priority for us to bring, because youth are meant to be at the top line of sustainable development activities. And this evening, I'll be sharing more information about the organization, that Sustainable Development Solution, how it came up, the formation of the, I will speak briefly about the SDGs, though. I know that I'm speaking to professionals, I'm even speaking to professors here too, that already knows about the SDGs, and you're already doing greater things, great strides across various aspects of the sustainable development goals. But basically, I will focus more on the activities of SDSN and how it can be of great benefit to the students of Center for Sustainable Development Solution. But I will just share some information about SDGs, and I'll move straight to SDSN. Like I once said, my name is Emmanuel Ola-Olowoyo. I'm the network coordinator for Nigeria Network. And this evening, I would just like to start with the evolution of sustainable development goals. And basically, we all know that, though many people picture the fact that development we are talking about now started in 2015. No, it started far back in 1972. That's at the United Nations Conference for Human Environment. And basically, the evolution of development shifts from the aspect of the environment, because then the focus was basically on the environment, and which later moved to the intergenerational justice that has to do with our common future. That's in 1987 that defined sustainable development as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. And this later moved on to the 1992, that's the Rio Summit, and that Agenda 2021, which focused more about the three pillars of sustainable development in relations to environment, economic, and social. And earlier in 2000, we had the Millennium Development Goals, which was launched and focusing on various aspects that ranges from poverty and education and different aspects. And later in 2012, that's the Rule 20, where the idea for sustainable development goals came up. That was where it was launched. But in this slide, I think there was something I didn't include. That's the Agenda 2063 for African Union, the Africa We Want, which came up in 2013. And later in 2015, we had the Sustainable Development Goals, which is also called the global goals, and 2030 agenda. But basically, we all know that this transition came from the MDGs, and which brought about the SDGs. Sorry. Okay. So which brought about the SDGs. And when I was speaking about the formation of the SDGs, like I mentioned earlier, that the SDGs was born at the Rio 20 summit, which was held in Brazil in 2012. And basically, the government leaders then were looking at how we can shift beyond looking at the aspect of poverty, how we can also bring in other aspects of the other key aspects of inequality, other key aspects of partnership, other key aspects of justice and strong institutions, which were not present in the MDGs. And based on record, this happens to be the largest ever consultation process, because the formation of the SDGs took a period of 3 years. That's from 2012 to 2015. And close to 10 million people participated in this in the review, because at each and every point, this was published in national dailies and national survey, which was reviewed over and over and over. It's not just that it's the government that came up with the SDGs, and I'm not going to say that yet. Some people always think that SDGs was just the government that was involved. Maybe it was just the ambassadors, it was just the Nation General Assembly that was involved. Everybody was involved, various people, and 193 member states are pledged to an inclusive economic growth, social inclusion, and environment for a sustainable future for all. I wouldn't want us to speak too much about this, because definitely these are things we over and over. And these 17 goals are things that, yes, it can still be categorized to different pillars and can also be categorized to various dimensions of sustainability. Just like we have some of the DPP students, we definitely have the economic sustainability students, we have the social sustainability students, we have the environmental sustainability student. Those are the 3 dimensions of sustainability, because when you're talking about sustainability, it must meet 3 key targets. That's the first one is economic growth, the second one is social inclusion, and the third one is environmental protection. And I will quickly, because I will be detailed about this when it comes to pillars of sustainable development and also the dimensions of sustainable. To the orange part, we have the pillars of sustainable development. That are the 5 P's of sustainable development, which includes people, planet, partnership, peace, prosperity. And I'm going to start from peace. There is this common saying that there can't be sustainable development without peace, and there can't be peace without sustainable development. Look at we can see the issues of insecurity, issues of wars happening here and there, even within Nigeria, not to talk about the ones that are happening in other countries. Yeah, definitely we need peace. We need peace to ensure to achieve sustainable development, and also to achieve sustainable development for partnership. I always say this as a quote, that no matter how clear a vision is to you, it's not meant to be achieved alone. No matter how clear a project is to you, it's not, in fact, you can't achieve it alone. Life is not being lived in, you can't live your life in isolation. The more you have people you are working with, the more you have people you are doing things with, the stronger and easier it becomes for you to get to achieve these things. And talking about the aspect of planet, This one has to do with the environmental conservation. How are we protecting the ecosystem? What are the things we are doing today? Just like I defined sustainable development the other time, that not compromising the future generation from meeting their own needs, their ability to meet their own needs. So are we protecting the planet? Practices, our lifestyle, is it adding to protect the planet, or is it destroying the planet? These are things we really need to check ourselves all about. And talking about people, which is one of the very common pillar. The reason why I said is the very common pillar is it took the first 6 goals of the sustainable development, starting from no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, across to go 6 and to go 11. Like you can see that also categorized it by pillars. You can see the categories of SDGs by pillars. You can see go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and 11 falls to people. And go 7, go 8, go 9, 10, and 12 falls to prosperity. Talking about reduced inequality, and also looking at the aspect of industry innovations and infrastructure. These are things that contribute greatly. And also talking about responsible production and consumption, that's goal 12. These are things that contribute to prosperity. But believe me, the SDGs are interconnected. Yes, because there are some basic features of the SDGs, which I always, sometimes I won't say I argue it with people. Definitely, if I ask now that someone, okay, let me just ask that, can someone look at any goal that is related to people and planet? Can anyone just pick any goal and argue with that? Okay, this, or maybe just like it's listed on the slide that we have, goal 13, 14, 15. Can you just pick any of these goals and that is more related, and you feel like, no, it should not be on the planet part, it should be on people's part, or it should be on prosperity part? Do anyone have any alternative view on that? Does anyone have any alternative view on that? You can use the comment section, or you can rather use you can use the mic to speak. You can unmute your mic to speak. Okay, Oluwaseun, we can hear you. You can speak on.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Hello,
evening.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Concerning the SDG goals 13, 14, and 15, if I get the question very well, you said, can we relate it to any other goals? Or can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, the question is, I mentioned that the SDGs are interconnected,
Yes.
whereby you just felt like, okay, if just look at the goals that are being stated on the 5 Ps, and okay, argue with that this goal is not meant to be on people. Maybe take for example, goal 1 is not meant to be on people, it should be on prosperity. Do you get what I'm saying now?
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, actually, I didn't see any because the way they've actually arranged it. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they arrange it, all the goals are related to the people, which is 1 to 6. Then for the planet, and also the partnership that has to do with goal 16 and 17.
So you agree that no poverty should be basically for people
Yes, I
and
agree.
targeted to prosperity.
Yes.
You agree
Yes,
that?
because yes, I agree, because if there is no poverty, we are talking about poverty eradication. So it's
Okay.
applicable to people. It is more
Okay.
applicable. people. And when we are talking about the climate action as well, it has to do with the environment. So every goes here, to my own opinion, is okay.
Okay. Thank you for that word. And that I don't know. Does anyone have anything, any contribution or any comments? Let me check the comment section if we have. So she said something, and I'm going to use that word. She said is more applicable to people. And when we are talking about the SDGs, I mentioned it that it's interconnected. And another part of SDG is the universality, because when it comes to it's common, it's been applicable to all country. Definitely the way you see the way it's applicable to Nigeria is the way it's been applicable to other country. So when we talk about the another core principle, which we also mentioned about the Agenda 2030, that is the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, the inclusiveness. Yes, the inclusiveness in terms of participation of all segments of the society, irrespective of the race. And lastly, a very key principle of the SDGs is that's the common living no one behind, which we always talk about. So I've said that I'm not going to talk more about SDGs this evening. It might be another session indeed, because these are things we run as part of our masterclass session at level of SDSN Youth Nigeria. So definitely, but I believe that it's going to help some people, as this always form part of your exam questions. That let me just tell you now. Definitely, as you are going to be preparing to write your exam in April, I guess definitely these are part of things they are going to ask you in the exam. And the same thing is applicable to the SDGs in terms of dimension. I mentioned that we have the three dimensions of sustainable development. We have the social sustainability, economic sustainability, and the environmental sustainability. The social sustainability has to do with human well-being, that the welfare, and how well we are living. And that has to do with basically the quality of life. And you can have from goal 1 to goal 6, and for economic you have from goal 7 to goal 12. And for environmental sustainability, we have from goal 13 to goal 15 on water and life on land. And we have goal 16 and goal 17 as their means of implementation. That's partnership for the goals, peace, strong, and institution. So these are basic dimensions of sustainability, which I believe is really going to help. And the last information I'm also going to share about the SDGs is the SDG transformation. And I'm going to refer back to what Professor Jeffrey Sachs, that's according to his code, that if at all we don't achieve the 17 goals, but we can achieve any of these transformations, definitely it contributes largely to achieving the SDGs. The question is, by 2030, we hope that definitely we'll have achieved some of the goals, if not all the goals, but definitely a lot of the goals are going to be reviewed. The 17 goals has been reviewed to these 6 transformations, and it includes the first transformation, which is on education and gender and equality. The second one, which has to do with health, well-being, and demography. The third one, which has to do with energy, decarbonization, and sustainable industry. While the fourth one focuses on sustainable food, water, and ocean. That's go 14 and go 15. Then we also talk about goal SDG 2. Then the fifth one, which has to do with sustainable cities and communities. And the sixth one, which has to do with digital revolution for sustainable development. So I will end it regarding information about SDGs. I would just quickly like to share more information about the SDSN youth. And talking about SDSN youth, what exactly is SDSN all about? What exactly do we do? SDSN is a global, that's the Sustainable Development Solutions Network, is a global network of the United Nations, which is set to accelerate actions and solutions towards the sustainable development. And the structure of SDSN is in each and every country, we have SDSN across all the country. Using the short abbreviation, SDSN is quite different from SDSN Youth. The SDSN Youth is the youth initiative, the youth arm of the SDSN Global, which is meant, and the core purpose is to empower and mobilize more youth to pioneer solutions towards achieving the sustainable development. But in every country, we have the network, whereby we also have the network. Take, for example, in Nigeria, University of Ibadan happens to be the member institution of SDSN Global. So for every country, there is an institution that is overseeing the activities of SDSN in that country. For Nigeria, we have over 20 institutions currently as we speak. The institutions includes public universities, private universities, research institutes, and related educational organization now. But for this institute, in Nigeria, we have Center for Sustainable Development, the headquarters in Nigeria. And talking about SDSN Youth, we have the SDSN Youth as the youth arm of SDSN network across the country. And basically is to mobilize more youth to, just like I mentioned, to pioneer solutions in achieving the SDGs. And basically, believe me, there are some challenges which we have identified at the level of SDSN Youth, and we feel it's very, very important for us to see how we can support, how we can train, how we can help more youths to achieve their development plans. And that's the very first challenge has to do with the issue of capital. I remember earlier in 2017, 2018, when I embarked on a rural restoration project, basically on health and education. I went to some community where there is like 3 different communities where there are no primary health center, not to talk about health center. They don't even have any school. And definitely all what we were planning to do was raising for this community. We had issues of funds. And then I don't know about SDSN as at then. I don't know about organization that can reach out to, that can partner with me. I'm going to use that as an experience. I remember then that I was doing that with my team, but I was not doing that with any other organization. It's one thing to do with your team, it's another thing to work with another organization that can contribute in achieving your purpose. It helps you, and I have to we this because we are all in the development space and really need that. And the second aspect is the issues. It's in Nigeria as we speak, we have a large population of are not yet aware about development goals. We have this SDG Advocates Program, which we embark on. Currently, we are on the second quarter for 2023. The application for third quarter is out, should anyone want to apply. And most of the secondary schools these advocates have gone to, I can say that 70% of the teachers in those schools do not know about SDGs. We've seen some schools whereby the principal do not know about SDGs at all. And you have to start from the beginning and start explaining what the goal is. All they know about is, I think stylishly, they've heard about United Nations just because it's the global body control, definitely, but they don't know about sustainable development goals. I said it, and I'm going to say it again. There was an event I attended lately, and one of the speakers was saying the MDGs by Nigerian government was created by United Nations. I be a misinformation. Even a lecturer who do not not know about this. But I'm not criticizing this, but we have identified them which we all have to participate in solving and contributing to. And access to literacy skills, major challenge. And one, it has to do with resources, mentors. Is just like I mentioned, that it's very important, development enthusiasts, endeavor to collaborate with others. Important, you have a mentor. You have a mentor that you are working, sharing your progress with. You have an accountability partner now. I'll call it a leader that you can trust. Even if this person is just a year older, the person is not older than you. I've seen some of my colleagues that okay, I can share my info, they can share their information with me, they can share their plans with me, and I will get to advise them and see how I can help to achieve those plans. And at the end of it, we discuss, we brainstorm, and we achieve it. So these are things that are very, very important, which we have observed. And extending this, when we talk about national curriculum, when we talk about awareness and campaign across the states, is it really reaching the grassroots level? No. We all need to come into action to achieve this. So at SDSN Youth, we have 3 major pillars. And our first pillar has to do with education. When we talk about education, we are more focused about training more youth, training more people to know more about the sustainable development goals. And there is one aspect, it's one thing to talk about SDGs, it's another thing to talk about education for sustainable development, which we are not even close to, we are not discussing now. And education for sustainable development is that has to help us to review our curriculum, to engage more people, to be more aware about how to live sustainably. Yeah. And the second area of impact has to do with collaboration. Basically, I've mentioned collaboration earlier, and what we do, we try as much as possible to create a network for each and everyone to collaborate, to engage. We have different communities as we speak, and these communities are amazing communities that you can get to learn more, you can get to connect with others that are working in line to what you are doing. Definitely, the 17 goals are broad, and we believe that there should be a particular goal or maybe 2 sets of goals you are focusing on. Someone like me, I do more on quality education, and that is what I've been doing over and over. So if there is, but the truth still remains that quality education, that's SDG 4, remains the focal point of achieving the SDGs. But if I'm going to work on anything that has to do with renewable energy or climate action or sustainable city or community, I have to penetrate from the angle of quality education. So these communities help us to get connected and share learnings with each other. And lastly, the other part is the innovation process, because it's very important for each and every youth, not just you having an idea, saying that you have an idea and you have that idea on paper. We want to see those ideas coming to limelight. We want to see it being fruitful. We want to see you progressing with those ideas. These are basic impacts. And at SDSN Youth, we have various initiatives. And for this group, which I'm talking to specifically, the initiative which we can more benefit from is the SDSN Youth Member Organization. Like I said, I believe that people that I'm talking to on this call, they are not just people that are coming up to learn about SDGs. You are coming to advance your knowledge about SDGs, to advance your actions, to scale up your actions and solutions on SDGs. These are the SDSN member organization. So for member organization, these are people that already have an organization or an initiative which they are running. You can apply to become a member organization of the global network of SDSN Youth. And we also have the university students. I remember in quad 7, Code 7, we had like 3 students from Center for Sustainable Development that were the SDG coordinator in Nigeria. So just like I mentioned, we have across these institutions, we have SDG hubs, whereby the students get to connect, get to build and relate with each other on accelerating the SDGs in their own community. And also we have local pathways. The local pathway is basically a capacity building training, which is more focused on SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. And we also have the Global School Program. The Global School Program is keen on education, education for sustainable development. We have the Solutions Program for startups and innovators. And we also have the Vatican Youth Symposium. This comes, I think, there is once in 2 years or thereabouts. So these are the great initiatives of the global network. And the good thing is, if the way you have it in Nigeria is the way we have it in the US, the way we have it in the US is the way we have it in Rwanda. It's a global network, and this initiative cut across the country, not just in Nigeria alone. And just like I mentioned that, okay, how do we make this change? Basically, our pillar of impact has to do with education, collaboration, and innovation. This speaks more about the initiatives which I've mentioned earlier. And you can see it's a global network. In Africa, I think in Africa, we have a network. In other countries, we have in Rwanda, we have in South Africa, we have in Kenya, we have in Sahel, and we also have in other continents, Europe, America, Asia, and all other continents. So how do we measure our success? We measure our success based on our impact and our enablers. Basically, as we speak, SDSN Nigeria, we have over 50 teams that are working at the level of SDSN Youth Nigeria, and also the brand scale. But basically, what we are more focused on is the education aspect and innovation aspect. I remember last year, when we launched the Climate Actor Accelerator Program, the lady that came first, okay, the Climate Actor Accelerator Program is basically focused on SDG 13, climate action, and you are meant to be on that program, ideate and launch a particular solution that is going to contribute to solving the global climate crisis. I remember the lady that came first, through the solution that she launched during that program, she has pitched that she won a fellowship, a full month fellowship in Germany, full scholarship. And she also through that same innovation, she was able to attend COP27 and so many international events. These are things which we are more concerned, which we are more focused on, and help contribute to our success. But basically, at the level of SDSN Youth, our theory of change has to do with ensuring that people understand sustainable development, and also people understand the challenges in their community, because each community has a specific need, and these needs are very vast and very wide. You know the need in your community, which is quite different from the need in my community. And the other part is for people to understand pathway of how to make change, how to be a change maker, and how to be a change agent. And fourthly, is also for all people to lead various youth-led solutions. We want to see a lot of solutions being launched, not just on paper. We want to see these in action and helping people to scale up their solution. And definitely there are different accelerator programs and capacity building events which you can be part of and you greatly benefit from. In this first quarter, I think we've launched like 3 different programs. Earlier in the year, we did the Business Sustainability Bootcamp for business owners in Nigeria that focus on business sustainability from aspects of ESG, CSV, GRI, and various activities. We also launched the SDG Advocates Program that deals more on education for sustainable development. And currently we are on the Climate Actor Accelerator Program. Later in the year, we'll be launching the Sustainable Energy Fellowship. That's basically on renewable energy. And I believe it's been an insightful session, and definitely I look forward to hear questions and also hear area of concern. What are the things you all definitely I'm here to attend to your questions? What are the things you would like to know more about SDSN? Maybe in one way or the other, skip it. Sorry, I actually skipped the introduction aspect. The director for Sustainable Development Solution Network Global, the global director is Professor Jeffrey Sachs. And we have the global director. We also have the national director, but the national director is being referred to as network chair. The network chair is Professor Labode Popola. Professor Labode Popola was the former vice chancellor of University of Osun, for people that might know him. And we also have the co-director in person of Professor Ngozi Odiaka. So and we also have the network manager in person of Mr. Femi Oyeniyi, and some other leadership council, which are that forms different professors and different experts. It's not just professors alone that we bring together. Definitely the structure of SDSN is to bring technical experts, not just from the academia alone, also from other professional aspects. So thank you for listening. I believe it's a session. I would like to have our questions and feedback. Okay, should you have question, you can use the comment section or just unmute your mic, raise your hand and ask your question. I'll briefly attend to it. I already promised that this call is not going to exceed an hour. Thank you, Ms. Okwe Yemi. Thank you for the comments. I hope there are any questions. I would like to attend to questions or comments or area of concern, things you want me to talk on as regards maybe SDGs or SDSN Nigeria. And regarding our network, we have our office at Center for Sustainable Development. That's opposite Bamiro Hall, upstairs, opposite Bamiro Hall. Should you have any request or whatsoever, you can reach out. You can come. You can check in the office at any time, or you can also reach out to me. Reach out to the network manager, whoever you would like to reach out to give you further clarification or information about your need. But we are always open and we are very much more concerned about development. And I want to say this evening that as students of Center for Sustainable Development, please, if you've not been practicing, start practicing now. What do I mean? Don't wait till you finish your MSc before you start practicing that thing what you are learning now. If you are learning circular economy now, start practicing circular economy, both at work, at home, different areas. If at all it's a training you want to start engaging people, and these are things that really helps. I know that at a particular point in time, you are going to go on internship. Maybe I think that is after, but it's very, very important then before you start with other organizations in Ibadan or outside Ibadan. Being a student of Center for Sustainable Development is a global advantage, and definitely you can also get other countries. It's more easier for you to. That's more reason why of the global network of SDSN. Yeah, I remember there was a time I wanted to implement a project in Rwanda, and I just had to reach out to the network coordinator and also have the contact of the network manager. So if I want to launch a project in United Kingdom or maybe in US or any other continent today, it's very easy for me because definitely there is this global network, there's this global niche in which I can easily get to connect with people and we share more information and we get to achieve those plans. So please feel free to reach out to us at any point in time. I don't know if there is any other question or there is any other area of concern, but if there are none, I believe we can call it a day and I wish each and everyone a productive week ahead. All right, thank you, Helen, thank you, Abimbola. It's good to have everyone, and thank you, Kenny. Thank you. I will say you are our host this evening. Thank you for reaching out, and we get to connect more and more. You can connect with me, and you can reach out to me. I think that I've displayed my phone number on the slide. You can reach out to me on any of those two numbers and we get to engage. And if you have an innovation which you or idea which you are trying to bring up, you can just reach out to me. We'll brainstorm about it and see how you can achieve this. All right, wish each and everyone success and wish you success in your forthcoming exams. Cheers, have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Ìdáná ni n ó fà.